Alright, so here today we're actually going to have some fun. If you don't already know, they actually went and released, a very, very powerful character when it comes to the human team, and people still underestimate this character. But if you don't already know, again, Yuri is actually an insanely good character for making humans viable in many different things. And I just wanted to see, from the basic stats, the tankiness, and everything that she provides as a character, can she make the bird farmable with a pure human team without the help of MEGELDA? Remember, MEGELDA, great character, but can you farm it without her? And I'm going to be honest with you, yes, this team is damn good, and I was astonished. I was sitting there recording the video, and I'm like, wow, literally wow. And I will be honest with you, I'll give you my take on everything if it's worth using. And if you're a new player, again, at this point, there's so many no MEGELDA teams, no Relic teams that work like very well. So consider investing in some of these teams. They're going to be helpful. Today, let's jump into it. I'll have the team at the end of the video with the full breakdown and everything. Like and subscribe, helps out a ton. This is the bird with Yuri. Yeah. So starting off with the recording here, let's see what we got. I was doing this while playing a different game because I was multitasking, right? Because I didn't have faith in this team working, so I didn't want to, like, record a commentary over it and completely scrap the video multiple times. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just let it record. If I get a good matchup, I'll let you know. And I'll be honest, I got a very good matchup here. So again, the team that I went with, I'll show you like the full breakdown with the gear sets and everything and stats and everything at the end. But it's Escanor, it is going to be Brunhild, it is going to be Yuri, and it's going to be Roxy. That's kind of what I went for with this entire thing. Again, if I randomly go AFK for a second, again, it's because I'm currently, or at that time, I was farming something else. But for what it is, through this collaboration, I still like it. I've seen a lot of people very mad about Zahard. Which kind of sucks, but definitely he's still not a bad character. He just can get countered, and it's an issue, and definitely they could have done his kill a little bit better to be where he didn't get fully countered just by one thing. But he's still a really good character for unknowns, as Yuri is for humans, as Viol is for PvE. They all have their placement, they all have their place, and as always, given Zahard is like he is now, it's just in the future, he's going to get power crept easily. That's what happens to unknowns in PvP. It's like they just get a new team every freaking month. Like Ragnarok is going to be there, so he might get replaced by Ragnarok. He might get replaced by collaboration in like 2, 3 months, 4 months when we get to the next collab. He might get replaced by anything. Like that's how many unknowns you get in this game. That unknown team just doesn't like lose to a different team. They just get improved. So you keep swapping characters. But again, back to this. It worked out well. For what she brings to the table, basically, I'll just go with that if you don't actually know. That's why it made it a lot easier to do this, and that's why as soon as I saw the kit, I said, you know what? This can actually make them work on this boss. Her damage is not going to be good. You have to realize that, right? Mainly, her damage actually came from her getting buffed up by Roxy, being the... she does crit when she hits that single target. On the last hit of the single target, it's literally a crit. So whenever that happens, she does get the extra damage, and that's the only reason she kind of works the way she does. Otherwise, dude, she'd be having very mediocre damage, but it's not the case because she's actually allowing everybody else to hit damage cap, and along with Roxy's extra death damage, it makes the whole team runnable. And yes, there's characters you can probably replace with, but I think that this core is probably the best one. You want Brunhild for Power Strike at the end of this phase, and you want to be able to heal constantly, right? Yes, Rudis can kind of bypass the Power Strike because of how much stats you give him, but I still think that what it is here is just probably the best. Because again, that heal comes in clutch because you kind of want to heal a little bit. So Brunhild's free to play. I'm going to say Escanor is free to play. Roxy, she's returned on this banner, so while you're pulling this new character, pull Roxy. So, I mean, if you want to consider whatever, I'm not going to say she's free to play, but easier to obtain, and it just works out. So that's just my opinion. But her passive, for every human ally participating in battle, increase the human's ally base stats by 5%. Whenever the unit uses a skill or human allies take damage from the enemy's skill usage, apply Shinsu Rose for 4 turns to that enemy. When the unit uses skill on the enemy that has the stack, it applies a debuff that seals AoE attacks for 1 turn. Again, not gonna like work, you know what I mean? But the rest of it is just basically the 5% boost per human ally. That's the good part. So realize that. Then again, you also have it where Shinsu Rose, when it's on, which is always going to be on, keep that in mind, is minus 10% damage with the max of 3 stacks. So that works. It's a great debuff. Got it? It's not bad. Then you go into the Holy Relic. Increases allies' critical defense and resistance by 30%, allowing them to tank a little bit. Now again, when it comes to the other attacks, not the best, so I'm not going to read them. Both are cancel stances, and both are, one's an AoE, one's a single target. And again, they're not the best, so I'm not going to say like, oh my god, whatever. But for the first phase, we got through it. We were kind of cheesing it, and we healed up. We were pretty like well off on the heals. We weren't even taking that much damage here. And if we did, just, we have Brunhild to kind of heal that back. And how I did it was I did put Tarmlink on Brunhild to keep her alive, because she was the one getting attacked. Whoever gets attacked, just make sure they have Tarmlink, and this will work out. Stats-wise and everything, it kind of checked out for me. It worked out. At the very end, I think Brunhild did die, but that's my fault. Plus, I had like a pretty crappy passive to go through. But I will say, like, this team, alongside like my favorite teams that do the bird without, like, you know, MEGELDA, is still #1 Goddess team. I think that's the best. Till today, I will, if I ever tell a free-to-play to like win in Demonic Beast, it's Goddess team. That's because Liz is an absolute carry, and Milehouse, what the fudge? Mael is an absolute powerhouse. So let me rephrase that. Mael is an absolute powerhouse. Use those two characters together, finish up the Goddess team with any of the two characters you want, and that's still the #1 team. I would say that Melly may be a second, just because, you know, their team is a little bit more... No, I wouldn't say that, actually. I'd say this is second. Yeah, you could say this is second, but there's also Unknown Team. And Unknown Team has so many stats, but you need a relic from, basically, what, Nidhogg, right? Because you need Freyr. That's what everybody uses, and that's why they become so tanky. So, depends, but MEGELDA still works in that team, so I'd say this works. Definitely, I'd say this works more. It's, in my opinion, from how many times I've tried this 2 times, it worked out. So, yeah, I'd say it's this one. You have Escanor doing death damage. You have Roxy doing additional death damage. You have Brunhild, who innately is a very strong damage dealer, and they are pretty tanky. So altogether, it worked out in my head. Like, it genuinely did. So, yeah, I'd say it's up there on the teams. I would say it's second or third. You can argue, because again, I do know that the Unknown Team exists without MEGELDA, and I also know that the other team exists, being what is it? Meliodas with whatever, like sins and whatnot, or demons, because Demon King, yeah. So that's true. but I still think they slaughtered here. So if you are investing in this collaboration, not making a mistake per se, but yeah, sometimes again the damage was a little bit lackluster, but we were also trying to stall. So if we were to do that, it's because we got AOEs that turn, or we were just waiting. But again, when they crit, it's like you have Roxy, you have Escanor, both of those death damages being there, and they're just kind of nasty. And again, you can kind of see Brunhild continuously getting attacked here, but tanking very well because of the stats and the relic kicking in, which overall is pretty solid. So there is that. I better not see anybody complain about the bird anymore, dude. With how many teams we have, if you've been formulating some of these teams, they work, dude. I'll be honest here. Like, I'm being very honest. Between everything, Goddess team, this team, and that, there's just these teams solo these things. So with like other bosses, I'll be honest, Skull and Hottie still hasn't gotten like per se trivialized without other characters. Like, you need Thoner to get it done, but I've never tried it without it. I've been too scared, dude. Skull and Hottie is like a pain, an absolute pain, dude. So yeah, at parts here again, I got a little bit stuck. I was like doing other stuff, so if I randomly pause because of that, but for what this team did, it was basically a around, so if it wasn't my stalling and a few mess ups here and there, it's around like a 13-minute gameplay or 14-minute gameplay. A usual bird clear for me is like 11 minutes, so it's not the fastest team, 100%. I'll tell you that now, but it is a team that works without MEGELDA very well. And like, because Albedo exists, let's be honest here, like my sense of how fast bird is disgustingly bad, because she just one-shots consistently, and because God Melly exists also, he just one-shots. But that's, again, a team requires sometimes MEGELDA. You might be using her, you might not have those characters. So if you have human team, it works. If you want to have a little bit of a fun team here, you've always wanted to run your Roxy in here, you always wanted to try it, hey, I'm not gonna stop you. It's a team that now exists, so you can definitely do that. But hopping into the third floor here, we had a pretty crappy passive. It's the one that increases like, he gets buffs basically, and then that's there, and then on top of that, he got the revive at the end with the 50% health. So that was a little bit of an issue because we had bad cards at the end, hence why my Brunhild did kick the bucket. But until then, we're doing good. Like, for example here, this is, you know, pretty solid damage for like the final phase. Like, that's pretty solid. Brunhild didn't hit a crit, didn't hit a crit again, so that's my Brunhild, baby. That's my Brunhild. And then there you go. Somehow Yuri hits a crit, but because of that, that little death damage is extra, making her damage not terrible, but okay in comparison. The main powerhouse of the team, let's be honest here, is Escanor and Roxy, just because they hit crits constantly and will constantly get double death damage. And yeah, you have to put on whoever gets attacked, just check it. It probably will be Brunhild for everyone. If it is Brunhild, just give her the Charm Link, or if it's Escanor, give him Charm Link. Depends on who is absolutely getting attacked there. So yeah, but keep in mind which card is the actual good card to use, right? For example, the card that's currently blockaded is the card for her that actually crits constantly. So just know that it's actually a good card. That's only because of the crit, honestly. Only because of the crit. Like, for example, this 16. You see what I mean? It's not the best, bro. It's not the best. Definitely carried, absolutely carried by again, Escanor here. You can see 160 with, again, both those death damages. Going into phase 2 over here, you can kind of see like the last 4 minutes of this video will be just phase 2 and 3, well, and 4. Yeah, it took a little bit to get some kills or get some damage off. We were kind of stalled because, again, we kept getting like pretty crappy cards consistently, AoEs or Yuri cards. Getting a full hand of Yuri cards in this would suck, but we still kind of made it through it. It wasn't like an issue. If she crits again, it's okay. Sometimes, right? So for example, here she did about like what, 71. Then with the death damage, 129, which, you know, yeah, Brunhild still does 177. So differences, but who cares? Who cares? There we go, 56, and then again death damage applied. At least ups it, makes it a little bit more bearable. For example, did more than Brunhild there because Brunhild didn't hit a crit. So see what I mean? See what I mean? But yeah, continuously also farm that revive or that ult from Brunhild. Sadly, got it stolen here. But if we were able to ult, we would have gotten our health back. But got attacked, got lowered, lost her ult there, so kind of sucked. We didn't get a card for her, so again, I couldn't ult and restore her HP, which was again a very, very annoying thing. But we did rely on the other members of the team to actually carry here. Which, if I were to get to it, because I'm currently taking a nap, clearly. Okay, in the gameplay, I'll get to it in a second. Ready? 3, 2, there we go. Woke up. Again, I was sort of may or may not have been farming a different game, but who am I? Who am I? You know what I mean? Let's see. I think that should be more than enough to kill. How much does Yuri's ult hit for? This is that's a 1.6. Oh, 124 is not bad actually. And she still hit a crit on this on a rank 1. Not bad, not bad. So I did waste that Roxy card, which kind of sucks. If I had that card, maybe it would have done a little bit better. But should definitely have burnt off that Yuri card. Here, I think I just full sent it with the ultimates. If I had saved the ultimates, because like we would have killed, bro. I should have saved the ultimates. This was a mistake that I made because I used all of the basically the good cards, right? Like if I could have saved that ultimate, or if I could have used like Yuri's card, we would have still killed, because you can clearly see here, yeah? Like it was only a little bit of HP, so I could at least save that gold Roxy card. So again, mistakes on my part. I didn't expect us to do that much damage, because like phase 3, he's pretty tanky, bro. And with the boss on the side, it's kind of problematic, but we still made it through. So just make sure you know how much damage you're actually doing. Don't waste cards, because that will hurt you, because it clearly hurt me. That's why my Brunhild died. Because here, like, we don't have like the best of hand. We mainly are just going to rely on Escanor to do most of the damage, but if we saved more cards, definitely could have done a little bit better on the side there. So that is a fact. Just make sure you know what you're doing when it comes down to it. All right. That's the best advice that I can basically give there on that front. But you know, continuing on with it, good video. I enjoyed it a lot. I definitely think that if you need a team and you don't have MEGELDA, these are characters. I provided so many different characters now for players to use, and like so many different characters that just fully operate without MEGELDA, right? So hopefully you all can beat this boss. Hopefully it's gotten a little bit more easier after my 97 bird videos that exist on this channel. If you ever want to check them out, I've made so many different videos, and yeah, hopefully I've at least solved bird for a lot of you. Hopefully, bro. Hopefully I saved somebody with this video. But it worked out. I'm being very honest here. I always try to be like as honest as possible when it comes to these bird videos, like of where I stand with how the teams are. And I will say that I still think Goddess is the best. I still think that. That's the fact of the century. Still think that when it comes to no MEGELDA. But if you could formulate this team, do it. I was mortified of how much we actually did. Like, I did not expect it. I was expecting it to be a failure with this thing here. But sadly, we didn't kill here. Again, the cards were very mediocre. Team is a little bit low on HP there, but we do tank it, right? He does buff up there. We have 2 ults, which will survive. And you can kind of see, she gets attacked here, clearly. But she's able to tank that pretty well. Yes, she does kick the bucket. Again, we had bad cards. But still, whatever she provides, it's still enough to tank and enough to do stuff. So we still won. We got through it. We didn't get to ult earlier on with Brunhild, which kind of sucked because of the delay and everything. But still got through it. So yeah, clearly see. 3rd floor over here. I'll let the rewards play and then I'll hop in game. Perfect. Hopping in game real quick. I'll show you the team just so you are aware of what it looks like. It is going to be Escanor. It is going to be over here Brunhild. It's going to be over here Yuri, and it's going to be over here Roxy. You're going to have her relic and whatnot. That's the stats that she kind of has. I gave her, so I didn't give her HP gear. I just gave her attack gear. Attack defense, because again, I didn't want her getting crit or anything. But if we had that crit gear, maybe we would have done better, bro. I didn't try with crit gear. But over here we have, you kind of want crit gear, so just put crit gear on her. Don't build her otherwise. Over here we put attack crit. Over here we put attack crit and attack crit. Obviously, that's kind of how this team always goes. And again, here's the gear sets if you want to see them like that. Oh, I didn't put attack crit on her. What? How did I not put attack crit on? Maybe I used it afterwards, actually. Okay, just go with the fact that she probably had attack crit. I don't know. Maybe she didn't. She should have had attack crit, bro. But that's a T. That's what I went with. Again, card set over here. That's how it looked. These are the associations that I used, and that's basically what I did for this team. It worked out well. I liked it. It was a great team. No MEGELDA, so I take that as a W. Human team, operational, functional, and working without the use of MEGELDA on the bird. Try it out. Test it out. Let me know if you like it. If I clicked here, give me a like. W in the comments. Peace out. Take care. Have fun. That's been for me. Cool.